just a second. I'm going to turn your mic on, okay?
We're live.
Cool. Hi. Look at this stack of stuff I have here.
Hi.
Yeah, you're live on
Do I
KCast.
look natural?
You're on KCast Radio, too. People don't.
Do I look supernatural?
You do.
Hi there.
KCast Radio, it's your home for Kurre and Klapow in the morning's classic rock to the bone. I hope you listened to Live Wire Wednesday last night, brought to you by Southern Precision Staffing. For all your staffing needs, from IT to construction, everything in between, they do it all. Kai Gregory, we love him. Brand new partnership with them. They're on the air. They're all over the place. You're going to hear Southern Precision Staffing everywhere for all your staffing needs. 205-682-2828 if you're watching us on Facebook right now. Download the KCast Radio app, because coming up at 8:15 this morning, we'll have a KCast Radio app exclusive. That's the only place you can hear Rachel Barbeau. I'm changing the narrative. I do want to ask her about Bill Cosby.
Okay.
I'm sure she'll have something to say, because I'm changing the narrative was kind of the whole Me Too movement, right? That's how it started. Now it has morphed into, well, I wouldn't say morphed. It's just exponentially grown into this huge thing.
It's sort of mental health and well-being and living life better.
But originally I believe it was because of the Me Too movement.
Can I tell you something about Live Wire Wednesday, though, first?
Sure.
It's healthy for you. I thought about this.
Yeah, okay.
It is a healthy solution.
You're talking in your butt there.
It is a healthy solution to that down period, right? So most people a lot of people get tired about 8 o'clock. And I mean, you need to get good sleep and stuff, but like if you need that boost from 8 to 9 just to get stuff done, maybe you can have the kids, or for me though, happened the other night, I needed to write something. I needed to get something written, and I was like 8 o'clock. The last thing you want to be doing, you don't want to be drinking coffee. You don't want to have an Monster energy drink. Just put it on, not too loud. Yeah. And I was like, it literally boosted my metabolism.
I know, right?
Through
come
the
down,
KCast
come down
app.
To work from 8 till 9 o'clock on a Wednesday, because usually about 8 o'clock I'm settled in.
That's exactly.
And it's because I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's,
so
me too.
I'm just kind of,
me too.
My clock, I got to get my 6 hours sleep.
But I got just enough. See, here's the thing. You're down here, and it's like all in your head, and it's like a little bit too much. But I got just enough. Turned it down, not low, but turned it down, and I had enough energy to get me through my writing, all because of Live Wire Wednesday.
I know, right?
Southern Precision Staffing, can you imagine if staffers, people that they put in the different places, use that when they had their down period, not just at night, all the time. I got a new commercial for Southern Precision Staffing.
There you go. I think that we should call it 1 hour energy.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. And you can, you know what, it's even better because you can control it.
Yeah.
Right? So depending on how much, the volume, and we want you to listen for the whole hour, but even if you don't, whereas the problem with Monster energy drinks and 5-hour energy drinks is
it's all natural. Live Wire Wednesday is all natural.
Yeah, well, but you can control how much of it, or like how loud. Whereas with the energy drinks, I mean, it's in you, and good luck, it's either going to overshoot.
Got a friend of mine who is starting an aerobics class, a dude, in September, and wants to do it from 8 until 9 o'clock every Wednesday night.
Love it.
To Live Wire Wednesday. I said, dude, everything we play here at KCast Radio is up-tempo. There's nothing slow. That's the one thing that you don't really realize, because you're like, it sounds so flipping good. Then you realize it just never lets up. So if you're listening for 30 minutes, you're going to feel good. I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. What you looking at?
I don't understand how you're 6'5" and I'm 6 foot, but your wires are nice and you got loose wires, and I'm wound up tight.
All right, so we talked a few minutes ago about conspiracy theories. Everyone's into something.
That's right.
There's a brand new study out about how many people believe that they're aliens. It's crazy. It's like
they are aliens, or
They believe they're aliens, and they also believe they come in peace, and they believe they live among us. Like 72% of Americans are like, they're already here. We just don't know about it.
It makes total sense.
It does.
They come in peace.
Because if they wanted to kill us, they would have done it a long time.
No, but it makes also sense because it makes us feel better, right? Because if we didn't think they were coming in peace, then we'd be all freaked out.
There's something weird out there. I mean, if we're going to go with our gut on things. So that's a conspiracy theory. The vaccination, obviously, is probably one of the biggest conspiracy theories we've ever had in our lives, because we think that the government's trying to feed us something, or it's not healthy, or it's not good.
Microchips?
That could be considered conspiracy. And I said, well, what if there's a theory out there that is scientifically proven that it's not good for you, but you use it or you love it so much that you're not willing to give it up?
That's called denial.
But I mean, it's a conspiracy theory, and now this UC Berkeley study that came out late last night is saying that you have a 60% better shot at getting a tumor or cancer by using your cell phone. It's not the 5G thing. It's just the
I know.
The frequency stuff.
That's been around for a while.
Well, you talk about it duping now. It's been going on for a long period of time that we've had cell phones.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things we're kind of looking past.
Well,
we have a lot of stuff flying in the air around here, brother.
Well, and that's what we're doing. That's exactly that's a really good point.
Yeah.
That is, that's the internal narrative. Mm-hmm. So what we basically say to ourselves is, I love my cell phone. I want to use my cell phone. There's enough other things that could potentially cause me cancer that I'm going to say to myself, well, it can't be my cell phone. It's all the other stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
So they're just trying to dupe us.
Researchers took a comprehensive look at statistical findings from 46 different studies around the globe and found that the use of a cell phone for more than 1,000 hours or 17 minutes a day
I'm screwed.
over a 10-year period, which you've been doing, increased the risk of tumors by 61%. They showed cell phone use for 10 or more years doubled the risk of brain tumors.
Yeah.
Joel Moskowitz is a renowned and well-respected director of the Center of Family and Community Health with UC Berkeley School of Public Health, conducted the research in partnership with Korea's National Cancer Center. They
there you go. You see what it is?
They dealt with 16 different countries, including the U.S., Sweden, United Kingdom, Japan, Korea, and New Zealand. Cell phone use highlights a host of public health issues and have received little attention in the scientific community, unfortunately, so cell phones have increasingly become part of our people's daily lives. 97% of Americans own a cell phone.
Sure.
I told the story yesterday. I was getting off a Red Mountain Expressway.
Yeah.
And there was a dude down there with, I'm a Vietnam vet, please help me. And then he was looking at his phone. Looking at his phone, I'm like, dude, you can't have both. You can't be looking at your phone and say, I need help. No, you can't.
Yeah, well.
In its alert, the California Department of Public Health said, although the science is still evolving, some laboratory experiments and human health studies suggest the possibility that long-term use of cell phones may be linked to certain types of cancer and other health effects. The agency also provided advice on how to reduce exposure, including keeping phones away from your body and carrying devices in backpacks, briefcases, or purses.
Okay.
Health experts said cell phones should not be held in a pocket, a bra, a belt holster, as a phone's antenna tries to stay connected with the cell phone tower whenever it's on, emitting radio frequency energy, even when it's not in use. They also suggest that when not in use, putting the phone in an airplane mode, which turns off the cellular, the Wi-Fi, and the Bluetooth.
Okay.
When on a call, experts advise avoid holding the phone up to your head and instead use a speaker feature or a headset.
Okay.
They also said you should reduce or avoid use of your phone when there's only one or two bars displayed showing the strength of connectivity. Cell phones put out more RF energy to connect with cell phone towers when the signal is weak.
All right,
we're screwed down here in the basement, aren't we?
No, it's just that's fine.
Ultimately, when it comes to cell phones, it's just like COVID. Distance is your friend. Keeping your cell phone 10 inches away from your body as compared to 1/10 of an inch results in a 10,000-fold reduction in exposure, so keep your phone away from your head and body. Now, listen, this is UC Berkeley. This is a well-respected...
So you're saying you think people think that's a conspiracy theory? Like, no, what
I think anytime there's something that... I think anything can be construed as a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Because a lot of people are like, you remember the whole 5G thing?
Yeah.
Oh, they're creating these 5G towers all over the place. Well, that's kind of part of this. And I think it's a little hooey because if you do anything in moderation, I think you're going to be fine.
Well, but that's...
if I eat 75, Guam nuts an hour, it's going to kill me. I don't know what a Guam nut is.
But that's saying moderation is 17 minutes.
But I mean, last week, I think I used my phone an average of like an hour. I think my average use was 3 hours and 25 minutes a day.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Which is crazy because I can't believe I'm on my phone and I'm probably on it 45 minutes just in the morning.
And they're saying 17 minutes.
17 minutes a day for 10 years, which we've been doing. We've all been doing that.
So I'm not completely. Do you think that people think that study or those findings are a conspiracy? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think. I think they'll make it a conspiracy theory if they don't want to believe it.
Oh, absolutely. That's what we do.
That's crazy.
That's
why? Because we can't live without our cell phones.
Well, that's exactly.
So for the same reason, and I'd make an argument, we can't live without vaccinations.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we want to go conspiracy against conspiracy, we'll get in a cage match and we'll get after it right now. The thing is again, it's like tobacco or any big business. We don't want to, or marijuana, we don't want to do studies on this stuff because, first of all, there's too much money tied to it. And second of all, it affects too many other people. A lot of people believe there's a conspiracy that we want cancer to stay because there's too much money tied to it. There are too many cancer institutes. There's too many people making big, huge billions of dollars based on cancer research. and grants and everything else. And if we ever got rid of cancer, there's going to be a lot of people out of a job. It's ridiculous, but it makes sense.
So is that why? I mean, so then you go down the same reason that for several administrations we were not allowed to do. I told you this. We were not allowed to do. NIH was not allowed to do gun violence, gun related studies. Yeah,
Why do you think that is?
Well, yeah, everyone in academics was like, that's because of the lobbying.
Yep.
That's because the cancer thing. I mean, come on. We got enough diseases that if we cured cancer, there'd just be another one. Like that's. Okay.
Cancer's been going on a long time, and there's lots of different. Think about it.
Well, think about the way we live.
But think about. I mean, cancer affects all of us. And,
right.
And there are some people that actually believe, and I can't believe I'm saying this, that cancer, there's a silver
But
lining.
I mean, if we're going down the conspiracy, where is it? So the people who are in charge of cancer centers that are providing jobs for scientists and staff, it's not just scientists, staff, etc., they're the ones that don't want to find a cure, and they want to find new avenues for cancer.
Don't get me wrong. I believe the majority of us would love to see a cure for cancer, and we're getting better at it. And obviously, we have Vituro Health. We talked about prostate cancer and everything else.
I'm not going to do a commercial.
So but it is amazing to me that we can get the best scientist in the world and create a vaccination in less than 6 or 7 months, where it usually takes 10 to 15 years because of studies and everything. If we get, I said, if I get all 5 family members, I can clean up the garage in a day. If I'm doing it by myself, it's going to take me a year. But if we get everybody on the same page and work toward a common goal, we did it with HIV.
Yes.
We do it with things that are immediate because they're new, and we can't have that. We can't have that.
That's exactly.
Cancer's been around forever.
Yeah.
And if we did get all of our scientists together, and once in a while you'll see some type of bubonic plague injection it's curing cancer.
Yeah.
But we don't get the research behind it. We don't want to put that, because I truly believe there are too many people that are affected by what cancer is.
No, so okay. So if we want to dive into that,
I believe we want to get rid of it.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of people that are going, hey, listen, I work on that every day for the last 50 years.
Well, so this is interesting.
I wonder
what
percentage of jobs just in our country are
tied to cancer research
in some
cancer
way.
Or cancer treatment research, all of it.
Just
tons,
it could be the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Okay, I'm making a widget, and this widget does this machine, and this machine fixes this, and this thing fixes this.
Millions and millions and millions and millions. But here's the thing that I do think is interesting, because you talked about it with the vaccination.
Yep.
The vaccination, we had this what we call an acute immediate problem. Assuming that you believe it, which I believe.
Yep.
If we don't address this, it's going to kill millions of people in a short period of time, right? Okay. And so everybody pivoted, and we found the cure. There's been multiple administrations, including the Biden one, that said, we're going to eradicate cancer. One of the things I know is if you're in the scientific community, if you're studying something other than cancer, what the NIH will do, if they're making a shift towards cancer, it's not like they take your money away from you if you're studying something else, but you kind of need to have a cancer angle on it. Look, I study obesity in rats because I want to understand obesity. Well, now I got to understand obesity as it relates to cancer. So one of the problems that we have is we have so many different conditions and diseases that we're trying to study that if one of them becomes a focus, let's just be honest, it takes away funding from people who are studying something else.
Sure.
Now, on the one hand, you can say, "Oh my God, that's ridiculous. You're a scientist." Well, okay. If you're studying cancer, what if you're studying genetic conditions that have nothing to do with cancer, and you're the person whose kid has that genetic condition?
Yeah.
Arthritis, ALS. You know what I mean? So what you get into is not only this is where the politics come in, because it's not just we want cancer to stay around. It's families that are saying, okay, you're taking all the money to study cancer. What about the origins of depression and suicide, mental health stuff? So it gets very convoluted.
The biggest difference here is, of all the things that potentially could cause cancer, cell phones is by far the largest, widest spreaded used thing that we have on the face of the earth. We talk about over drinking. We talk about drug
Yeah,
addiction.
they all cause cancer.
I'm dipping right now. We're talking about things as a risk type of thing. Okay.
Yep.
Am I willing? Overeating, diabetes, obesity. There's.
It all causes
cancer. If
If
you don't do it right. I mean, if I eat 17 Splendas every morning in my coffee, I've got a better chance.
You're curing.
Or more curing. Exactly right. But when you're talking about something. Well, I don't have a drug addiction problem, or I don't have an alcohol problem, or I don't smoke that much.
You're right.
So it's
right.
I can smoke 2 or 3 cigarettes a day. I should be fine, and you probably will be. It depends on how much you use it. With cell phones, if this study's true and it's 17 minutes a day, we're all screwed.
No, you're right.
I'm just wondering, though, we're too far in. We've jumped in. We can't live our life without cell phones. We can't. We can't. And if I told you definitively, there's research here that says that if you use it 2 hours a day, you will get cancer sometime in your life. How many people are willing to give it up?
No,
they're not.
Right. This is the relative risk.
We're screwed. We're addicted to it.
Well, this is a relative risk.
Yeah.
If it's 100% that you're going to get cancer at some point in your life, here's what people are going to say. Here's what people are going to say. You're going to have a ton of people. If that came out and said, if you use a cell phone, it's not saying don't use a cell phone. It's saying if you use a cell phone in this way.
And if I told you if you use it an hour a day, you're going to get cancer. Yeah. How many people would put it down?
Well, and the first question I would say is when. Am I going to get cancer some point in my life?
Sometime in your life.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could be 70, could be next week. You're going to get cancer if you use it an hour a day. Are you willing to put it down? And I would say 95% of people would say
because
no.
it is exactly the same as, it's the same mentality as this won't affect me.
Yeah.
It'll affect other people.
Sure.
I'm not as much at risk.
Look, I'm in good health.
Yeah, that's
I don't have a pre-genetic disposition.
Right. No one in my family had cancer, and so this is not going to. I mean, this is the same thing about I never get the flu. Yeah. Now, and it works exactly the same way. I mean, I'm just as much to blame. Yeah. Right. I follow the same thing. I use my cell phone constantly. Mm-hmm. Right. What else do I do? I don't eat organic foods. I mean, I was going the food route. Mm-hmm. Think about the crap we've talked about. Think about the crap that we put in our body, even the healthy foods, all the pesticides and all that kind of stuff. We do that every day. We should be eating cleaner.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, look at you. You don't eat any vegetables.
Yeah, I don't. I'm anti-vegetable.
You eat processed foods.
I have kids. So that's all.
Okay, so you've been causing cancer.
I am trying to do better. I mean, once or twice a week, I make a healthy meal.
You know, with this life change of yours, we're gonna have to change all kinds of things.
I know, right?
You're gonna have to eat clean and kale. Oh, we should ask Rachel about it. Kinds of celery juice.
I'm not doing flipping kale, dude. Forget it.
Kale's good.
Yeah. What about lobsters? You like lobsters? Are they considered healthy?
I'm not a big, it's the whole Jewish shellfish thing, but I'm not a big lobster fan.
One of the
does lobsters cause cancer?
No, but but they are being banned under a brand new UK law, and I'll tell you about that. One place where you probably can get some lobsters, some great steaks and everything else is great food is the club at Lakeview. Chris Creek, man, every Sunday he's got a super big grill. He keeps telling me he's going to make me a ribeye, and every time I go up there, he's like, I ain't cooking today. I'm like, okay, well, get your ass up there and cook me a ribeye. That's what they do. They golf, swim, eat, repeat, golf, swim, eat, repeat. Those are the 4 things that they do. It's fantastic. The golf course is in impeccable shape. We had some good rain the last couple of days. The greens are great. It's a 9-hole golf course. It's open year-round. Their pool was open like 3 weeks before Memorial Day because it was warm enough. Go figure. It's warm enough to swim. Let's open our pool. Let's fill it up with brand new water. It's fantastic. They have a volleyball court there. They have a great golfer's lounge. You can do it all, and for like $100 a month, you get it all. You get everything. And I mentioned it's not affluent. You don't have to wear your plaid sweater vest. You don't have to have $3,000.
You can though if you want to.
You can if you want to, but you're not going to fit in. That's what I love. It's my kind of place. I show up there and I feel like I'm one of the guys. My kids love it. It's fantastic. The Club at Lakeview in McCullough. Go to the Club at Lakeview Facebook page of the Club at Lakeview.com. So animal activists now have their claws out on seafood.
Okay.
They're now asking to have it banned to boiling lobsters alive under new legislation that protects the welfare rights of crustaceans and mollusks. Mm-hmm. Parliament is considering updating its animal welfare bill, which defends against the inhumane treatment of creatures with backbones, to include invertebrates such as lobsters, crabs, octopuses, and squid. Okay, if you eat a live squid, because you can eat live squid, right?
I don't know.
Don't they do that in China? You eat the animal's still moving.
Well, it's just a twitching of the nerves.
No, but it's still live. They serve it to you live on a plate. You eat it live. Yeah.
That's just gross. Yeah. That's gross.
The bill, which is making its way through the legislation's House of Lords. How would you like to work in the House of Lords?
My kids.
Where do you work, the House of Lords?
What do you think my kid's doing? He's going to be.
He is a Lord. Would require fishermen and chefs to stun
Yeah.
Or chill the sea creatures before boiling, which is brought to you.
Have you ever boiled a lobster? Have you ever seen a lobster boil?
We talked about mud bugs. I've seen them come out of the freezer, and then when they purge them, they make this god-awful screaming sound.
So do lobsters.
Yeah. Do they?
Yeah. I mean, I like lobster. I'll eat a lobster. I don't love lobster, but it's got nothing to do with it. I've watched. It's not.
I do wonder how many people would give up red meat if they saw the way.
Well, that's a great example. Here's your cow.
Yeah.
Here's your cow. What part of your cow do you want? Okay, let's cut that part out.
Yeah. There is more than enough evidence of the ability of these sensitive, captivating creatures to feel pain and suffer. They undergo appalling treatment in the food industry. So they're talking about you can still get lobster, but they're just going to have to kill it in a more humane way, which means that lobster is probably going to be an extra $5 a pound. Because we're going to have certain ways. And see, the thing is, I know God created animals for us to eat.
Yeah, but we're so...
And it's fine, but I mean, if you're eating it, if you're eventually eating it, you're eating it.
Right.
Right? So... Quite frankly, there was a place called Butchertown Pub in Louisville, Kentucky. It was in an area of town called Butchertown because that's where the processing plant was for cows.
Right.
And so I'd go down there and do bar gigs, and I'd always get behind. There was always these trucks with these cows, and they'd be looking out at the back. You know, their eyes are all looking, and you knew they were going to get slaughtered. I don't know how they get slaughtered. I just know they were delicious. I really didn't care. But it was a little weird, a little unnerving to get behind a truck knowing that he was good for about another 5 or 10 minutes. I didn't know how they got slaughtered. I know there are humane ways to kill animals. I just think it's funny that we're going to kill it anyway and we're going to eat it. Does it really matter? Now, if someone told me if by killing it humanely, it's going to be more tender, I'm all about it. I mean, my grandma used to snap necks. Did your grandma do that? Did your grandma hang chickens from clotheslines in the backyard?
Dude, I grew up in L.A.
We would go buy live chickens, and she'd snap their necks and hang them from the
You're like a total country bumpkin.
Well, that's the way it was.
You're not that much older than me. What do you mean that's the way it was?
We had cows in our backyards. We used to have a cow stick his head through our kitchen window.
So here's the thing I think is interesting about it, what you just said. You're going to kill it anyway. You're going to eat it anyway. Hang on. You're going to kill it anyway. You're going to eat it anyway.
Yeah.
Why not kill it with less pain? I mean, we see hunters do this all the time, right? The whole idea is to have a quick kill.
You know, outside torturing an animal. Now, some people would say putting 5 cows in a small 3-foot is somewhat torture, or putting it in the back of a truck.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, we're not going to make it comfortable. We're not going to give a cow
free range chicken. We got free range chicken. We got free range cow. Free range everything.
And you pay for it, and that's certainly well. I'm sure there is some. I don't know if there's or not. Is there free range cows? Is there something
grain fed?
But
no, they're grain fed.
But why do we want like free range cows or free range?
There's two things.
Because they taste better.
They taste better. They're healthier for you.
We don't care about.
Yeah, we do. Have you ever seen the commercials? And I'm not going to mention.
So if you have a package of meat that's saying this cow was tortured.
Yeah.
But it's a nice piece of meat, and then you have a package of ground beef next to it.
It's equal to everything's equal in the taste.
No, the taste, but the humane one is an extra $3 a pound.
Me, I got expendable income. I would do it. Because I'm a sensitive guy.
Well, I'm a sensitive guy.
You're not that sensitive.
And I eat a lot of meat.
Right.
No, well, they're both dead. Then.
But it wouldn't be.
Why does it have to be? There Publix,
but why do we have to? Why does it have to be so expensive to kill them humanely? It's like that. I don't buy that.
Well, because if you give them more room, you can't have as many cows, and if you can't sell as many cows, the cost goes up.
But you're killing them. That's not. There is a commercial. I don't know which poultry producer it is, or I can't remember, and I won't say. But you've seen this commercial.
Tyson.
I don't know, maybe it is.
Yeah.
Where they're standing out there, and the chickens, and everything, and everyone's happy. The chickens are happy, and the people talking about it are happy. And I watched that, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Because you're giving me this commercial about how happy everyone is.
And then you're gonna eat
as soon as the commercial goes off, you're about to kill that thing.
Yeah, you're eating chicken wings for dinner. Yeah.
But I do think, listen, the whole kosher thing, part of the kosher rules around meat, the reason you have to have, not only the reason that you have to have a rabbi there, is it has to be killed in a kosher manner. And part of that is a slaughtering that is the most humane.
Yeah.
Like, so that when you get kosher meat, as long as it's truly kosher, not only has it been blessed by a rabbi, but the meat has been processed the animal has been killed in a humane way. It's part of our religion.
So what's the most humane way? And I don't know this because I'm not a butcher, but I would think the most humane way to kill an animal is to put it under and then slaughter it. Because it's already dead, right?
Put it under like anesthesia.
Inject it.
Yeah.
So it's already dead.
Well, it's like we put dogs down.
Put it in the big yellow
Put our
hammer.
pets down.
Yeah. Well, and they eat those too.
Who eats them?
Vietnam.
But we're not eating them.
They also eat them in China. They just had the big dog festival where they ate like 5,000 dogs.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, it was.
It's not like, is it like Nathan's, the hot dog eating thing, but with dogs? Like Joey Chestnut?
Well, they're not. No.
Okay.
No, but they have this big dog festival where people bring all their dogs and they're slaughtered and they eat them. And they celebrate.
Their dogs, but they're not pets.
Dogs,
dude.
They're probably strays. That's why you put a collar. It says Fifi and a phone number.
Feed me?
Yeah. So I think it's interesting because but I mean again the cost associated with that. Well, it's organic, right?
Well, yeah. So let's go to this thing.
My girl went up and picked up some bananas and I had the yellow label. I said, no, we're not doing organic bananas. Bananas are bananas.
No, they're not.
No, they're an extra 69 cents a pound.
Okay, but what if you found it?
So these bananas were treated humanely?
No. Let's.
I'm not doing organic.
No, let's say you found out.
If it tastes better, I will.
No, let's say you found out that you had an 80% greater chance of developing cancer if you ate foods that were not organic.
Show me the study.
Well, that's part of the reason we do the organic stuff, is that it has less pesticides. It decreases your chances for a variety of illnesses, including cancer.
It depends on what it is and what I'm eating. If it's already a health food,
like what?
Like bananas.
No,
bananas are already healthy.
Not if they're genetically altered.
You have to eat like 25,000 bananas a day for the rest of your life to get
No,
cancer.
you're probably okay.
Yeah, you're fine. Like organic green beans. For God's sakes, they're flipping green beans.
Yeah, but no, they're not.
They're already good.
You're going to need to work on this. We're going to talk to Rachel.
I want big, fat green beans that are sprayed with lots of pesticide because I'm getting more value for my money.
Oh, my God.
And they're giant. They're tasty.
Right, and they're causing you cancer.
And then what am I doing? I'm putting like a pat of 5 pounds of butter on top of it.
Well, because that's...
And cheese.
Oh, we got a lot of work. I can't wait till we talk to Rachel.
We
got to talk to Rachel. We're going to do the whole segment on getting Tony to change his narrative about his life.
One thing we do need, it'd be great if we had health.
Are we going to a commercial right now?
No.
Okay, go.
Well, yeah, we could.
Okay.
It'd be great if we have insurance for our houses and cars and everything. We do that with Chris Dorsey's State Farm team, right at 985-7799 area code 205. You're outside the listening area here in Birmingham, and we love that. We also have health insurance, which they don't do, by the way.
Right.
But we always have insurance for things because we never know what's going to happen. Perhaps holding that cell phone up to your head that long, maybe you should start looking into that. I bet you there will be cell phone insurance. I'll bet you there's going to be cell phone insurance.
Cell phone health-related insurance?
Well, listen. Sick for that, listen. The Kurre and Klapow health insurance cell phone policy.
It's an extra $5.95 a month. That's all it is.
$5.95 a month, and if you have any problems down the road and you can prove that it was caused by your cell phone, then you can tap in.
You know, one of the things I don't know for sure, but it's definitely possible. If you're holding your cell phone in your pocket in your mail, you may be increasing your chances of prostate cancer. In fact, 1 out of 9 men are going to develop prostate cancer. We got to look at the studies from Vituro Health and others. But if you develop prostate cancer,
unless of course you have an organic banana in your back pocket.
Well, if you have an organic banana, then you're probably okay. But if you develop prostate cancer, Vituro Health is there with new treatments. They're also there. We learned from Dr. Gapin. Dr. Gapin, how to live healthy to decrease your chances of developing cancer and prostate cancer. But if you're there and you got prostate cancer, you need to contact your urologist and Vituro Health. Their webpage is viturohealth.com.
And to piggyback on top of that, Chris Dorsey's State Farm team, 985-7799 for all your insurance needs. I've been with him since 1988. My 16-year-old just started driving. He did the Steer Clear program, saved me 20%. Yes. They're like, listen, dude, I work here locally. I work for State Farm, but I want to save you as much money as possible. He's actually called me and said, listen, I don't think we need this umbrella policy. I don't think we need this anymore. You're going through some different things. I think we can cut some things back, and he's done that. And he's top 10 State Farm agent out of 18,500 across the country, and he's loving himself some Chris Paul and hopes Chris Paul wins later on tonight for the Phoenix Suns.
And if all of this is stressing you out, we're talking about organic and cancer and conspiracy theories, then what you need to do is to go up to Woodhouse Day Spa, because you're not going to develop cancer. You see, that was a good one, huh?
We're going to lose everybody. We're doing
that was but that was good. This is like, come on. Go to Woodhouse Day Spa, 905-7676. They're located up at the summit. Manicures, pedicures, facials, massages. It is the finest quality. Their webpage is birmingham.woodhousespas.com, birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
A UK mom was apoplectic after receiving a note from neighbors demanding this.
I don't know
she
what
said it's the most bizarre thing that's ever happened to me. I can't get my head around it.
Okay.
She got home from work. She's a car salesman.
Nice.
And she found a note on her car at 8:30 on Monday morning. Neighbors had reportedly spotted the 26-year-old mother of two on Sunday wearing a T-shirt and French lingerie as she locked the door and turned out the lights in preparation for bed. Suffice to say, the prudish parents were not pleased with the inadvertent striptease. They wrote, "It would be much appreciated if you could get at least shut your blinds when walking naked around your house. My kids do not and would not want to see your ass out on the show. Much appreciated, your neighbors."
They probably do.
So obviously a lot of people have commented on this particular situation. The puritanical complaint didn't sit well with the car dealership manager, who was shocked. She's a manager. Look at this.
Let me see.
That is a car manager.
Let me see that.
I'm buying a car.
That's a little Photoshoppy.
17%, sure, no problem.
That's a little filtered.
There's filtered, all right. She was shocked and angry about it. "I was so livid that someone had the audacity, who's supposed to be my neighbor, to go out of their way and leave a note on my windscreen rather than just knocking on my door and confronting me about it," said the size 8 bombshell.
Size 8.
Maybe they're just not confrontational, but for me, I got a problem with it. I'll quit happily saying, I'll quit happily say it to someone's face. She found the butt shaming especially ludicrous, as she wasn't even walking around naked. I was wearing a T-shirt and French knickers.
What are those?
They covered a lot of my bum. To be honest, they're lucky because normally I walk around in a lot less than that.
That's ridiculous. See, we talked about toxic positivity yesterday. This is toxic. You got nothing better to do.
She said, some people said it's your house. You wear what you like inside of it. Another individual said, it's my house, it's my rules. I will absolutely not stop me walking around my own home, my underwear, a T-shirt, or anything I want to wear.
Yeah.
And evidently she's getting a lot of support. We had a neighbor. Her name was Sherry Crosby.
Ugh.
And she was like 25, 26 years old. We were in the Midwest, and we had about a half acre behind our house, maybe 3/4 of an acre. And you couldn't see anything from the street. And I was 14 or 15. And I would go back in my room to do homework with my dad's binoculars. And I knew at 3:30 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, because she worked different hours, that she was going to be laying out in the backyard in her bikini, which was no big deal. But she didn't want those tan lines across the strap.
No, you don't want that.
And so she'd lay down, and I'd be sitting there, and I'd be going, and I'd have my binoculars, because I was like, I don't know, 30, 35 yards. It was perfect.
Yeah.
And I would wait, and she'd look both ways, and she had no reason to look both ways because there's nothing in our backyard. There was no highways and no street. There's nothing unless you had a drone. We have drones. You didn't have drones. There was no way to look. Then she looked both ways, and then up she'd come, and all of its glory.
And you were just
Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday,
the greatest days in your life.
I would run off the bus. I would get off the bus and run into the house. And my dad was like, "What's up?" I got homework. I got homework.
So much homework.
Lock the door, take a box of tissues, and I had the binoculars. And my dad, once we go, "Where's the binoculars?" "Oh, I saw an eastern bluebird in the backyard, blah, blah."
So that's how you learn so much
Along with all the Sears magazines and the Fredericks of Hollywood magazines that would come from my mother. I don't know why that
I remember Fredericks of Hollywood.
And I would sit there and watch it. Never.
What does that got to do with? Oh, that's got to do with this.
Well, never. But she was out in the yard, but it was her yard.
Well, so listen, when I moved here.
Yeah.
When I moved here, and I came from massive poltergeist suburbia in LA, and when I moved here, the real estate agent, when I could afford to buy a house, they were showing me all these beautiful houses in Homewood, and the Homewood's lovely, right? Mm-hmm. But everyone in the houses I was like, dude, this is how I grew up. Everyone's backyard backs up to bear. She's like, well, what do you want?
Yeah.
I said, I want land. Mm-hmm. She's like, well, how much land? And I was trying to explain how much land. I said, I want enough privacy that I could go out in my backyard in my underwear and nobody can see me.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm not going to go outside in my underwear, but I want to go out in my underwear. Yeah. So we've been in this house for 25 years.
Mm-hmm. You can do that in your yard.
I've done that.
Yeah.
I've done it. Well, I feel a little weird.
Now, I think there's a little difference between walking out to the front and getting the mail in your underwear, or early in the morning in a robe. That's fine, whatever, I don't care. But if you're inside the house and your blinds are open and you're walking around naked, do your neighbors have a complaint?
Well, come on.
You could close if you know that's going to happen every night around 8:30 while she prepares to go to bed.
Well, and this is not an apartment. This is just...
It's a house across the street. then you could close your blinds. And I can promise you your kids are probably, yeah. Again,
Come on,
I showed you a picture. She is quite
Is this recent? Or
if it's a 78-year-old grandma that's walking around naked, I doubt they're complaining about it.
Is this recent or is this a long time ago?
No, it's a couple days ago.
Right, so this is all COVID stuff too. This is COVID stuff.
People are very, very comfortable walking around their own house
Well,
naked.
that and people are agitated. Everybody's pissed off.
We had a person up at the radio station.
Walk around naked.
And she was a lesbian. So you're getting two for the price of one.
Didn't you tell me there was a guy up there who used to smoke dope in his underwear?
Well, yeah, but that's just radio. Everyone did that.
Did you?
But there would be the guy who came into work, and he's like, yeah, she was at it again last night. I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, she was just walking around. They had a big bay window that was like 6 or 7 feet long. And she would and he goes, I swear she knows I'm watching. So I said, she probably does, but she was a lesbian, so she doesn't really care whether a guy likes her or not. But she'd walk by the window, and then her girlfriend would walk by the window, and they just would go back and forth for like a half an hour, 45 minutes every night.
Well, they do.
He also had a pair of binoculars.
They knew he was watching.
Yeah. He was looking for eastern bluebirds.
All right, so we can ask Rachel about that one?
Yeah, Rachel Barbeau, our good friend, I'm changingthenarrative.org. I want to ask her
her
about the Bill Cosby situation on the state in 2015. There was a statue of Bill Cosby that was on the Disney World studio lot that was taken down in 2015 because they were like, we can't have a Bill Cosby statue on the Disney lot because of his arrest.
It's been that long.
Yeah, and so they took it down on the state in 2015, so we'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Rachel Barbeau, good friend of the show, huge following. She is just fantastic. She'll join us. If you want to hear that interview, you got to download the KCast radio app, KCast radio app, and I promise you'll love this interview. She is world-renowned. She is huge. We'll talk to her about Bill Cosby coming up here in just about 7 minutes at 8:15 this morning. Get the KCast radio app. KCast radio app. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. I promise you it'll be the last app you ever get rid of.
How do you get it, Tony?
Go to the Apple store or go to your Google Play thing and just tap it. And again, it takes 5 or 10 seconds, and you can listen to classic rock to the bone 24/7. You can also hear Kurre and Klapow 6 to 9 every Monday through Friday morning. We got some big news coming up, hopefully in about a month, that I think we're going to be doing. It's going to be super cool. We have an IBM show. It's playing later on tonight. High Tech mashes up with classic rock at 7 o'clock. We did Live Wire Wednesday last night. It's unique programming across all platforms. It's the KCast radio app, so check it out. Tell us one more live spot. I'm going to play some music, then Rachel Barbeau's up next.
I'm going to tell you about someone I just talked to yesterday, John Gray from Driscoll Gray. Money, taxes, wealth management, debt management, it stresses you out. You want to maximize your dollar, and that's what John Gray does. He sits down with you, he looks at where you're at, he looks at where you want to be, he looks at your taxes and your debt, and he helps you manage it in a way that allows you to live comfortably. His webpage is driscollgray.com. He's got great market insights. Again, that's John Gray at driscollgray.com.
All right, good. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Check out the KCast radio app. Get Rachel Barbeau in a second.